And welcome back. You're watching VGL Season 1 of our first 2v2 season. And we are back for the follow-up match between Kid and TheBusiness versus a very hungry NastyWitIt and Krysjustice. Now, if you watched our first matchup between these two teams, you saw that a very good start between Krysjustice and NastyWitIt was followed up, unfortunately, with some very bad decision-making and micro, and cost them what should have been a victory. And Kid and TheBusiness, of course, looking to seal the deal here and take the series by eliminating them here in Game 2. This is a best-of-3 regular season game, of course, so NastyWitIt and Krysjustice will have to win this game if they want to stay alive and take it to Game 3. The map is Discord 4, a very good wall-in map, a little bit difficult to expand. We've seen some popularity with this map in the season so far. It's probably running neck and neck with Scorched Haven as the two most picked maps for follow-ups. So definitely some favoritism here. We'll have to see if they have a specific strategy that they've chosen this map to utilize, or if they just chose it for its easy defensive capabilities. We see a probe coming out from Kid to go ahead and scout out here. See this a little bit of a gap here in this supply depot. Not sure. Yep, there you go. Kid just proved it for me. Definitely a gap in that supply depot. So want some better placement there from NastyWitIt in order to wall that off. Not sure if he did it intentionally. See just some build up here. We see some early gas from Krysjustice and a gateway. Krysjustice favoring a lot of Void Rays. Last game was probably his most effective game with Void Rays, but still has not seen a victory utilizing the Void Rays. We'll have to see if he goes for it again in this game. Be a little hard pressed to do Void Rays twice in a row. So we'll have to see. We do see a Forge coming down. Krysjustice, a big fan of a boxed-in Protoss. Does not really like walling in. Enjoys more to kind of box in his buildings and scatter it with cannons for defense. Regardless of the situation, you see Krysjustice utilize a lot of cannons. Makes him very well defended against any kind of detection, and also provides air cover for later in the game. Sometimes it goes to waste, but for the most part, it's paid off for him. So he's going to continue that trend there. We see NastyWitIt correcting his mistake by building another supply depot, and we'll see a last one here coming in to finish off the job. We see Kid is now going to be trapped in this base unless he makes it in time. We do see an early expansion from TheBusiness. I don't know what is going on here with TheBusiness, but he is expansion happy lately. It definitely paid off for him last game, where he became the last man standing on his team after Kid got gimped a little early from a Void Ray attack, and that extra economy definitely helped him out. We'll have to see how TheBusiness follows up now. This may be a new style of play he's testing out here. You see a proxy pylon going down for Kid outside of the natural, and we do see two barracks coming down now for NastyWitIt. A first already built here at the main. And we see Kid completely trapped and not really sweating it, as he is just kind of, you see this hot route set up here. He's just going to continue to scout these bases until somebody stops him. And Marine coming out now, which may try to stop this probe, and it will definitely take some pot shots at him, and looks like he'll have to wait for the second go around. We do have another Marine here trying to chase him down, so always fun to see Marines chasing probes. And TheBusiness's base coming down here. We have not seen any scouting from NastyWitIt, and you'll see that from their perspective, they literally have no eyes whatsoever on what's going on the other side. Meanwhile, thanks to this very heavily damaged probe, Kid and TheBusiness have very good visibility on exactly what's going on in Krysjustice and NastyWitIt's base. So they really need to take this out soon. And it looks like that Marine... Oh, and that Marine gets the medal. Congratulations. It officially wins the prize. We do see another expansion coming down from Kid, so fast expands on both sides of this Protoss team. And early robotics facility coming down as well. That will be a great wall buster if you can get some Immortals out. Take a look at the economy tab, and you really start to see how NastyWitIt and Krysjustice are starting to just a little bit fall behind, mostly NastyWitIt. And as soon as these bases come up and running, you'll start to see as that econ swings in favor, I should say, in favor of this Protoss team. And meanwhile, here at the wall, we do see an early buildup of Marines here. We'll have to see if he's planning to use this. We do also see a tech lab coming down, most likely for shield and stim pack. And the Mass Marine, of course, very useful early on, just poorly managed. NastyWitIt still not completely making good decisions when it comes to moving and attack moving. He really needs to start attack moving more. The Marines are best when you just let them attack move on their own. I mean, they really are the ultimate A-move unit, and NastyWitIt, of course, you know, trying to micro them a little too much. So we'll hopefully see him try to bounce back on that. We see TheBusiness doing his typical breakdance, celebrating a possible future expansion site, and maybe doing a ground survey. Not really sure. The business likes to do some creative things with his units there. See warp gates coming in, and that will definitely speed up the unit build time. So, matter of fact, let's take a look at units. We'll see that we have one zealot, one stalker to Kid's name, no other units other than that. Again, perfect example where we have a good group of Marines here, and really only 4 defensive units on behalf of Kid try and help out here. If NastyWitIt were to scout and realize this, he could crank up that Marine unit, or even throw in a couple of Hellions to deal with the zealots, and try to really make some headway on that. But unfortunately, whatever good scouting they did last game, they're completely forgetting this time around. And we do see an observer, also a staple of Kid's play, using lots and lots of observers to try and keep an eye on things. And you'll see this observer come in here and scout out an early expansion from NastyWitIt. NastyWitIt, of course, expanding on his macro capabilities, playing a more defensive game as Terran, and arguably working for him, not working for him. Definitely losing out on some opportunities to do some early attacks with his Marine build-ups, but he is giving himself an economic advantage he didn't enjoy before. And there we have it, the DTs from Krysjustice. Unfortunately, this has been... well, let's see if it was spotted. Was it spotted? No, it was not. Kid actually just barely missed the Dark Shrine, so he is not aware that these DTs are on the map. He does have detection, however, so if these DTs can make it to the base on time, he may be able to swing it. And will he see the Dark Shrine? It looks like he will. He has seen the Dark Shrine now. He is aware that DTs are in play. He does, however, already have an observer positioned here. So unfortunately, this detection will allow these DTs to really just be completely obliterated very, very quickly. And unfortunately, not going very well at all. That handful of Marines is not going to be anywhere near enough. And that was an investment not very well done. So, of course, the business counterattacking, taking advantage of this fact. And you see the business warping in on these proxy pylons that he has cleverly placed right outside of NastyWitIt's base. And these DTs, of course, are going to take a little bit of advantage here, as they're just skirting on the detection range of this observer here. And even with the detection, they're getting in some good swipes there. But a very expensive unit to just use as fodder like that. NastyWitIt needs to push all the way through. Hopefully he realizes that this very quick reinforcement is coming from proxy pylons. And he really needs to push in. Of course, the business realizing, hey, he didn't see it behind the smoke last time. Let me go ahead and put it here. And look at this. The business literally expanding all over the map. The business now with 1, 2, 3, 4 bases, giving Kid a run for his money. Kid normally is the macro player on this team, and he's basically telling Kid, hey, listen, I can expand too, okay? You're not the only one. And you know, this is definitely good for business, and I'm gonna bleed that cliche until it's dead. But business warping in a few more units here. NastyWitIt, he really needs to start to wonder why they were able to get units here so quickly and realize that there is a proxy pylon here. Unfortunately, their scouting ability has been dismal. We look at the map here, and you see outside of that early attack that spotted this, and these Zelnagas that they have here in the center, they have no eyes on anything. Not a single eye. And if they did, they would realize that the Kid and the business have literally taken over the entire map. Look at the business putting a cannon down here, trying to cannon rush an expansion. And NastyWitIt finally realizing, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right here. Look at all these pylons. And of course, Krysjustice with some Archons here that will definitely add some meat shields and some good bio attack. And we'll have to see what happens here. We do see 2 more observers from the business. And looks like NastyWitIt and Krysjustice will be able to do a little bit of damage here. Definitely taking out a little bit of these stalkers, but the business's economy is just rolling here. 1,600 on mineral count alone, 53 workers, almost double that of either team. He literally has the same economy as both of his opponents combined, and he is going to manufacture units like they're going out of style. And it looks like Krysjustice and NastyWitIt will be able to take this out with Nasty's reinforcements here of Marines. They need to try and target these pylons more than anything, but it looks like they will be able to push them out. They need to get some detection, though. I think there are observers everywhere, all over their base. I mean, if the business and Kid wanted to, they could start a TV channel for reality TV of NastyWitIt and Krysjustice's base, and they would have enough camera footage to really have a hit season here, because I mean that's literally what they're doing here. It's like the Jersey Shore of StarCraft, as they're just filming everything that goes on Nasty with it, of course, not prioritizing this pylon. That is a mistake. He needs to stop the reinforcements from coming in, and it looks like the business will be able to pull off saving this very ballsy expansion here right off to the side. We see lots of zealots coming in now with charge, and marines, and even a DT to boot, and they will come in here and try to finally kick the business out of this base. And you know, this has been a long fought battle here, and they have just allowed a kid to mass up a huge army. We take a look at the unit count here. We see 1 Colossi, 3 Immortals, 5 Stalkers, and 5 Zealots. Okay, maybe not huge, but huge in the sense that it is definitely packing some serious units there, especially as those Colossi start to roll. Take a look at production here. We'll see another Colossi underway, as well as a Stargate, most likely to warp in some units, or maybe even create some void raids. I mean, who knows? He may as well just go full death ball at this point. And Nasty with it getting a small victory here with some help from Krysjustice, finally kicking the business out of this expansion site. That has to make them feel good, especially since they have not scouted the rest of the map and realized that that is just one of many franchises the business is setting up all over the map. And you know, Nasty with it with a lone marine chasing down Kid's worker here, and unfortunately gets eviscerated by this Colossi. And we see the Kid rolling in now with a large army. There are just so much detection here. You have to wonder if Krysjustice even realizes it, because he's still making a ton of DTs, which unfortunately are going to get spotted by any army they come across. And we see now these Zelnagas going down, and they are aware Colossi are on the field. This is basically an appetizer for Colossi. It is all light units with the exception of a handful of Marauders. And I think it may be a record in how fast they will just completely evaporate this army, because it is just, wow, look at that. Some strong micro there from Nasty with it. I mean, they did get eviscerated, but they were able to pop that Colossi really quickly. And you see Krysjustice, I'm sorry, the business now using that macro advantage and finally producing a ton of Stalkers. And this is just not looking good at all, as we see them now taking map control in the center, the one area they have not used so far. We do see, you know, the Krysjustice's base is completely getting mined out here. We have observers all over the place. Nice sized army for Nasty with it, but still needs more barracks. And we finally see a factory coming down. We'll see some diversity in units, hopefully. But they really need to step it up. I mean, they had a little bit of an early victory kicking the business out of the side expansion, which was really an embarrassment to let them expand that close. And, you know, I'm pretty sure the business knew it was going to be a high-risk situation. But they really need to try and push at this point. I'm really surprised to see Kid only on 2 bases. And we do now also see a fleet beacon in play. This means that we will most likely see some kind of carriers, or at the very minimum, mothership. And there it is, mothership on the way. And we see it coming out now, and this mothership should spell the end. We see the business also building an expansion here with no detection capabilities whatsoever. This mothership is going to just steamroll. We only have this 1 missile turret here, which is good if you're trying to defend against them, maybe some DTs at your wall, but very bad if you're trying to defend against a mothership. And we do see Kid attacking his own team for some reason. Not really sure why he did that. So I guess a little dispute there maybe on the teams, and you know, a little confusing there. I'm sure there's some words going on in the voice chat, and a little confusion as to why that happened. And we see the business now rebuilding, so I'm hoping that dispute has been settled and lease agreements were signed, because that was a little shocking to see that happen. We see the mothership slowly roaming in here. Mothership, of course, gonna cloak this entire army, make it very, very difficult for them to defend. And we see Krysjustice trying to expand because he's almost completely mined out his main. That is one of Krysjustice's biggest problems, is his lack of expansions early. He tends to one base a little longer than he should. And with this army rolling in here, this mothership still being hidden from view. And we'll have to see if he plans to combine it at any point. You see a lot of workers going back and forth here, and the business holding back a big group. And we do see another group of stalkers here trying to take out what's left of this marauder ball. And you just see units everywhere. This mothership rolling in here. Wow, look at that. Mass recall right past the gate. Unbelievable. Good play on Kid's part, just completely bypassing the wall and bunkers. And they are just going to completely rampage this base. And you see these units rolling in here, but these Colossi are going to melt them before they can even get into the armor of this mothership. And this is going to be the end of the game here. As this, I believe this is only the second time we've ever seen a mothership in use in a VGL competition. And it is definitely an effective use. I believe it's even the first mass recall, and that will hand the second game to the Business and Kid. They basically took over the entire map. A complete lack of scouting from Krysjustice, and NastyWitIt basically handed them the victory. And you know, a very heartbreaking defeat, but we'll have to see if they continue to improve. They definitely played a better game in round 1, but you know, there's still plenty of season left, and we'll have to see how both of these teams move forward. But a much-needed win from the Business and Kid, considering that they did have a little bit of an early loss before. And after winning Game 1, this Game 2 sweep gives them a lot of confidence going into the rest of the season and gives them a much-needed match win. So we'll have to see more from these two teams as the season rolls on.